Everybody, how you doing? I'm really excited about this week's recipe. I put that in quotes because it's really about an idea, creative ways of thinking about food, using as an inspiration tinned seafood. The tradition is over 150 years old, obviously wildly popularized by the Portuguese and the Spanish, then picked up by other European countries, and then of course adapted over here. Obviously the one that we're used to all the time is canned tuna. However, canned domestic tuna is cooked twice. That's a real problem for me. It's cooked once, then it's packed with either water or olive oil and cooked a second time to seal it in its tin. The beauty of so much of the newer companies, that are domestic ones, like Wild Planet, is that they're actually doing it the right way, using sustainable ingredients like sockeye salmon or other types of tuna other than bluefin, which are being overfished. I'm gonna do a little something with razor clams from Spain, and then mussels from our good friends at Patagonia Provisions. There are lots of companies that do lots of incredible things in this category. I have cockles, octopus, baby squid, salmon 2 types, tuna 4 types in my cupboard right now. I love tinned fish, and you all know that when it comes to really good imported tuna in olive oil, my favorite thing to do in the whole world, well, it's 2 things really. It's a salad, a classic salade niçoise, which we also have a recipe on my website, but more importantly, tomato sauce, which is one of my favorite things of all time. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open 1 tin at a time, and I'm just gonna, I literally grabbed what I had on hand in the refrigerator, because when I come home late from a trip, late at night, and I want something to snack on, but I really don't want dinner, what do? The first thing that I do is I look for a towel. No, I look for some tinned fish, because whether it's with a piece of toast or some crackers, it's a super quick, sort of inspirational meal. I'm just gonna pour off a little bit of the oil that this was packed in. And these are those beautiful sardines, nice big fresh pieces. I don't need to rinse them or do anything to them. I'm just actually gonna lay these on the plate here. And, there's nothing better for me than sardines with a jaunty sort of mustard sauce. I mean, that's kind of what this fish screams for me. And oftentimes, I will also serve some of these small little plates made with tinned fish to guests. If you came over to my house and I didn't have a lot going on, I could always defrost a chicken breast or 2. I could throw together something like this as a quick little hors d'oeuvre for people that are coming over to my house. So a very fast and simple little vinaigrette. I'm just gonna take some minced scallion. I'm gonna pour just a tiny, tiny little bit of Banyuls vinegar. That's a really nice red wine vinegar. I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice. I always like, when I'm making vinaigrettes, especially for things that are pairing with seafood, is to make sure to use some citrus with it. It's the ideal kind of pairing in my book. Let's take some Dijon mustard, and I'm gonna put, I don't know, about a tablespoon in there. And then I'm gonna whisk those couple ingredients together. It's not really very complex, just a very simple thing to do. But then I take some really good olive oil. This is Spanish olive oil made from Arbequina olives. And I just hold it with one hand and let it just kind of drizzle into the pan, or bowl rather. I really don't need much. You're looking for about a 3 to 1, 2.5 to 1 olive oil to vinegar. You know, I'm just making an emulsified vinaigrette for one. Now, oh, that's perfect. There are some people who like to sweeten this up. I'm not a big fan of sweetenings. They like sweet mustard sauces with their sardines. I don't. I want something acidic that's going to cut through all of that fishiness. So I'm going to take a spoon, and I'm just going to pour this around there. And then I'm going to take some of the other parts of that scallion or other herbs that you have and put that on top of there. And probably the thing that I like to do that you probably don't do a lot of is I'm going to take some lemon zest, and I'm just going to put that on top of my fish. Now, why do I like to do that? Well, the aroma of lemon zest is so much deeper than that of lemon juice. Look at that. That is a beauty. I know. Do you want me to show you a better picture? Okay, let's see if I can do this. Oh, that's nice. I'll line these all up at the end and give you a nice still shot, but I really want to encourage you to make sure that you are kind of getting that tinned fish back to life by using different sort of techniques. So the next one, let's see what I have in here. Oh, my razor clams, product of Spain, fantastic. These are packed in brine. They're cooked. I'm just gonna pour off that liquid. When things are packed in brine, I usually tend to give them a quick rinse, just a little bit of cool tap water. And then I'm going to take these stunning razor clams. Look at how beautiful those are. Just because it's tinned doesn't mean you need to thumb your nose at it. These are just gorgeous. Wow. Wow. Absolutely delicious. And I'm glad I rinsed them off because now I taste more of the razor clam and less of anything else with that. And I'm going to serve this very, very simply. I'm going to cover this with lemon juice. You know, maybe just a teaspoon for that whole piece. And then I'm going to add a little bit of sliced shallot. Right? Just a little bit of sliced shallot. And I'm going to cut that as finely as I can so I can sort of sprinkle really thin shallot rings over the top. I'm going to break them up very gently because I'm going to really like the look of this. You know, this inspirational kind of cooking is really about deciding for yourself how you want something to look as well as taste. And I love these little rings that we're putting on there. And then I'm going to add some of this olive oil to it and freshly ground black pepper. By tasting those clams first, I happen to know they are spicy enough. This is about as simple as food gets, right? I mean, look at that. That's a beauty, absolute beauty. I will send you a nice picture of that. I'll move the camera and set that up at the end of all this. And now the last one that I want to do are the mussels. And again, let's see how these are packed in oil or water. They're packed in water. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the clams. I'm just going to give them a rinse. They're already cooked. Nothing could be simpler. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull them out of there. I'm gonna make a little pile of those mussels. They're absolutely gorgeous. These are big, plump mussels from the Pacific Northwest. I love them. Again, remember, tinned is not a negative connotation at all. So I have these beautiful mussels, right? What do I want to do with them? Well, I'll tell you right away, I'm just thinking I have some extra scallions left over, so I'm gonna put those on top. I love mussels and spicy things. And I happen to have, I grew some Calabrian chilies in my garden this summer, and I let some ferment and I let some get fresh at various, or took some fresh because they, got ripe at various times. And I just pureed them with a single clove of poached garlic and some olive oil. And so I've got this incredible spicy Italian condiment, this oil peperoncino, that if you've traveled to the southern part of Italy, you've probably seen this on tables where you've been eating. So what goes great with mussels and something that's in the allium family like scallions, than orange. And we all are buying these little tiny tangerines this time of year, and by the end of a week in the house, you've eaten all of them except for two. This is a great way to soften that olive oil and chili flavor is with a little fresh orange flavor. So I just put about a teaspoon over the top of that, and then I also want to put a little zest on there of that orange. I mean, if you got it, as they say in the biz, flaunt it, right? All right. And wipe this up. And yes, I would cook this way for myself because I like making pretty food. Look at that. That's a lovely, lovely plate. So there you have it. 3 really simple ways to go about this. I'm going to take a couple still pictures and then let's taste these together, shall we? Okay. Okay. So let's see how we did here, huh? Those mussels with the orange and olive oil and that Calabrian chili olive oil. Oh my God. That's unbelievable. Sweet, spicy. The scallions actually work perfectly with there. This is the razor clam with just black pepper, olive oil, lemon. And I use those shallot rings with that. By the way, any of the treatments here, the shallot, lemon juice, olive oil, black pepper, the peperoncino oil, excuse me, the orange and the scallion, or this mustard vinaigrette for the sardines would be great on any fish treatment, tinned or otherwise. Heavenly. I mean, heavenly. If you're gonna buy sardines, don't buy ones already seasoned with a mustard dressing, right? I mean, it's like buying pre-cooked chicken breasts. I mean, just don't do it. Cook your own, right? The difference between sardines with a homemade Dijon vinaigrette on them and one that's made by the company that tinned the fish is like me standing in your garage and saying I'm your car. Wow. Those, my friend, are out of this world. Out of this world.